Love, peace, and prosperity, my YouTube fam. I missed you guys Saturday gone. Unfortunately, technical issues, and I just was not feeling well. So we anticipated that we would have went live, and YouTube has made some changes, so we weren't able to do that either. However, today I'm here to make up for Saturday gone, and moving right along, I want to, of course, give all praises to the Almighty, the Creator of all. Now, Saturday's Spell. The purpose of me bringing Saturday's Spell is to tap into like-minded people like myself that realize the English vocabulary has been created to lower our consciousness. And as I touch on these words, it is to raise our consciousness. And each and every word that I go over is words that I learn as I go. Now, don't get me wrong, I've made adjustments to a lot of words that we use on a day-to-day basis in my home. However, some of these words, being in Saturday Spells, I go into the vocabulary, the etymology, and I just do some research and I share what I learn. Now, I do encourage, if there's any words that you guys would like to share, would like us to discuss, drop it in the comments. And for anyone that's watching me for the first time, welcome. I hope you full enjoy the content, and I hope that it's content that you like enough to share. However, just remember, watch this video to the end and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. So my first word I wanted to start on was freedom. I did this one because of a song that I heard. A friend of mine knows someone that they do like spoken words, and they kind of was breaking down the word freedom. And he said, how can we be free and dumb at the same time? So it kind of raised an eyebrow for me, and I thought about it. Why would they even put those two words together? I know that it's not spelled the same. However, those are the little small deceptions that they use in the English language to deceive us, lower our consciousness, and lower our vibration. I looked up the word freedom, and they broke it into two pieces. And the first one was to be exempt from, not in bondage. And yeah, we know that's what freedom means. And that's what we hold on to being free. However, I come from the US, where, and even here in Africa, sometimes freedom is not just freedom, because we want to have the freedom of speech. We want to be free to speak and say what's on our mind, but we still have to be very cautious and careful, because if we say something that's against someone or against a certain political party, it can cause, I'm going to say, for some people I've seen in other countries, one like Jamaica, for example, where somebody spoke against the prime minister, and we saw a video shortly after where the person was dead. So these things happen, yeah. And in America, they do the same thing. They tap into our privacy, and we'll say something on the phone, and there's an algorithm, and if that algorithm gets triggered by a certain word that we say, they start tapping in. And then they'll kick down your door if you say something about the president. Worse, if you say something like you're going to harm them in any type of way. You know, and I have to be very careful with my words and how I speak. So this is us sharing those things. So yes, free is not really free. And we're just going to leave it at that because there's so many restrictions in the world. And we know that there's rules and there's laws, and there's been those laws and rules from the beginning of time. However, there still should be less restrictions for us to be able to be free. The next portion of the word freedom is dumb. And I thought when the man that I'm speaking of in spoken words, he, I don't want to say his name wrong, so that's why I haven't said it, but I think it's Yashus or something like that. And he's like, how can you be free and dumb? But dumb is D-U-M-B, but this one is D-O-M. Dumb. They both sound the same. And remember, in the English language, one word can be 3 different meanings. So dumb is to judge. In Old English, word was demand, which came from deem, and that was to condemn, to punish. So dumb is part of a punishment. So we're being told that we were free, you know, for slavery, for example, we were supposed to be free from bondage, free from slavery. And to this day, you have people in America, I'm talking about authority, meaning police authority, gunning down innocent melanin men, innocent melanin women, just because of the richness of melanin that they have in their skin. Is that really freedom? The amount of homeless people in America, especially for melanin enriched people, is sad. But yet still they tell us that we're free. We were taken out of slavery, and when they gave the 20 acres and a mule, and those people used that wisely and became rich and created Black Wall Street, guess what they did? They said, oh no, they too smart. And they burnt it down. Several of our Black Wall Streets was burnt. So now they stripped us from everything. They gave us nothing. They kept us in slavery. We didn't get paid. This was all free labor. And then they left us and said, okay, now you're free. Free to do what? To still go out and work for them that slaved us so we can survive. They didn't give us a head start, because they do have Head Start programs in America for any other that is not melanin enriched for a Head Start. You can come from China, you can come from Cuba, you can come from Arab, so many other places. Just to name a few, we're talking Germany. All of these places, they come into America. They get a Head Start. It's a Head Start program that is exempt to us. So don't tell me about nothing free and nothing dumb, because I ain't neither one of them. I wanted to talk about the word friend. We throw that word around so much, And I always was a little uncomfortable because it reminds me of fry and. So I used to say, and you have some Jamaican songs out there that mention fry and, like frenemy, for example. So I decided I was going to look into that word. So in the 1670s, the word friend was related to the word fiend. That's F-I-E-N-D. And in the 1670s, that word meant enemy. But when I see fiend, I think of a drug fiend. Somebody that's on drugs, they say they're fiending or something like that. So I don't know. But we don't need to use friends no more. Guess what? Sisterin, brethren, that's what we need to call ourselves. Sisters, brothers. Because we all sisters and brothers under the Almighty. So maybe that's how we need to address our one another. Let's not go with the dog for our brothers out there who like to be like, yo, my dog, this. Or my N-I-G-G-A. We don't want to do that. We no longer feeding those words any energy. We taking the energy from those words and we giving ourselves uplifting words. Words that gives us life, that raises our consciousness and help us to connect with the source. The next word I want to use is invest. So I like to invest. I'm that person that I always want to invest in something so I can grow my financial background. So I looked up invest, and invest in the 1600s again meant to clothe and to dress. But let me back up. In the 1400s, that's what it meant. 14th century. In the 16th century, they changed it to relate with profit. So that's where the money, it correlated with money in the 1600s. So just saying, to invest was to clothe and to dress. Now it means to produce profit. We're going to go on to the next one, and the next one is conspiracy. Now, conspiracy is that word where they always put theory with it. And in a lot of cases, in the past, say 2 years now, they spoke a lot about conspiracy theorists because it was something going on 2 years ago, let's say 3 years ago. So it's between 2 and 3 years ago where I won't say, but we know what was going on during that time. And they mentioned a lot about people coming up with their conspiracy theories. And if you go into history, conspiracy theory, that phrase came about by the CIA because people that was speaking the truth and sharing the truth, and people were listening, and they were grabbing too many, listeners, too many followers. They came up with conspiracy theory to say, oh, this person doesn't know what they're talking about. It's all a conspiracy. And they making stuff up. Crap, bola. And we know that a lot that has been considered as a conspiracy theory has been a fact. However, conspiracy is a plotting of evil. They say literally breathing together, or they came, so in other words, somebody conspiring. That's what they're saying. And we get that. And we know that they put these things to distract us and throw us off. and that's okay. We are dissecting these words now today, and going forward, we're going to share them with people we know so we can raise our vibrations, not just here on this platform, but extend it out there as far as it can go. Because we want more people vibing higher than where we are now. Because their goal is to keep us low, to keep us disconnected from the source. And I really, really, really want us to really be mindful when we're making this effort to make the change. Because every day we get up and people still say mourn. And we're not mourning because we rise. Why do we have to mourn? That's not what we do when we rise. We don't mourn. We rise. We call it grand rising. We call it good rising. Let's rise up. Let's rise our consciousness. I got one more word, and that was pretty. And just like nice, I have to reprogram my mind, because nice is clumsy, is stupid. And it was disappointing because I used that word so much. So I looked up pretty, and pretty it wasn't what it seemed either. Almost a little disappointing again, because although it said clever, it said cunning, crafty, trick, a joke, how can pretty and all of that be? That didn't even make sense to me. And that was in the 13th century. But in the 14th century, it went on to fine and pleasing and beautiful in a slight way. How are you going to be beautiful in a slight way? It's either you're beautiful, which we used to think pretty. It's not in a slight way, so they're saying pretty is not beautiful. Slightly beautiful. Get out of here. And it says to make pretty or embellish. That means it's like you're boosting somebody's head up by telling them they're pretty, but you're really not. So let's just use it beautiful. Let's just say gorgeous. And we'll do those words on another day, but we'll use them until our consciousness is raised. However, we're going to go forward with those words today. Those are my 5 words today. And I just want to remember that as we grow together. Everything I learn, I'm sharing. And anything you learn that I might not know, or that you can raise my consciousness, please feel free to do so. So, as we go forward, I want to remember that this platform was created to grow consciousness. As I grow, we'll grow together. And as I continue on this platform, I welcome anyone that's watching for the first time and watch me to the end. And I ask you to comment, like, and subscribe. More love.